Hey y'all, hey. Happy Tuesday. Happy 1st of August. Happy full moon today. It's a full moon. So it's just a good day. It's hot, but it is a good day today. I appreciate you all for taking the time to be here. This is Cleaning Life with Kia, and I am Kia. So I'm so glad that you're here and you decided to take out a few minutes of your day. This will be a 30-minute podcast tonight, so it won't last long once I get started. Trust me, it always goes by so fast. So just thank you. It's Tuesday. It feels like Thursday or Friday. I don't know what's going on with the time and all that good stuff, but it's just flying. So just thank you for your presence and, to everyone that's here live and to everyone that's going to catch the replay. Again, my name is Kia Smith. I am the owner of Help Now LLC here in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. I specialize in cleaning, decluttering, organizing, basically just home management. So, what I'm doing is I'm using my business brand as a platform to reach other people in different areas, people that may not be able to afford the service, may not want anybody in their home, but they're still looking for help, they're still looking for tips. Um, to enhance their home management skills or, just to get back and just, get some tips. Um, so welcome to Cleaning Life with Kia. This is the 11th episode that I've done. I'm so excited to just be here and be able to share with you all today. And today's topic, I'm excited about this. Anytime I can talk about children and vent at any capacity with these kids, it's a good topic. So the topic today is adult children living at home. These adult children, do they help you or do they hinder you? So my oldest is 17, so he's still like a minor at home, but um, I plan that when he does get out, that he stay out, that he stay all the way out. And if something happens and he has to come back home, I need him to already be groomed and equipped to come back in and flow appropriately with the dynamics of the home, period. Um, so as far as the adult children living at home, did you know that more than half of young adults, 58% actually, in the United States are living with their parents, and the age ranges are from 18 years of age to 34. So that's a pretty wide gap, to have adult children, living at home. Now, I'm not judging and I'm not even saying that it's a bad thing. As the American family dynamics evolve during these, challenging times, um, these boomerang kids, they call them boomerang kids because you put them back out and they come back like a boomerang. um they're relying on their should be would be empty nester parents, um for a variety of reasons. They're depending on them to help out in their lives. And um some of the reasons are they are trying to save to buy a home. They're choosing to pursue higher education. You have the factors surrounding the economy, stumbled on hard times and you have to regroup. Um, some of them go out here, they have babies, and they have to come back because it's hard out here. They don't understand. Like, they don't listen when you try to tell them how the real world function and operate, that it's hard, that you have to be ready because when you're out there, the world isn't gonna show you any mercy. So either you're gonna be ready or you're not gonna be ready. And a lot of times the ones that ain't ready, they end up back, at the house. And some of them just simply weren't given proper tools to be able to survive outside. It's like you just kind of wake up, and some parents, they just expect the kids to just know how to do everything, just get out, and you haven't shown them anything, you haven't taught them, you haven't groomed them into this lifestyle. So it becomes very hard to endure what life brings and what it does bring. Um, but whatever happened, it is taking a toll on parents. So I'm really observant, just not only in life with like friends and family and work. Well, I won't say I'll say work so far as I have another job, and I have coworkers and all that. So I hear them, and then I have this business, and so I have clients, and so between just my regular life stuff that's going on, friends, family, all that, even with my clients, I see this so much, like to the point I had to bring attention to it because they are driving these parents. Like parents are going crazy, and I'm just like, oh my God, I hope I'm doing things right because these kids are not going to bother me like they bother a lot of these other parents. My thing is, if you're gonna be there, if you're gonna be at home, um, like you need to help. You have to contribute. Most young adults, they'll take a peek out at the world. They think they have everything figured out. They feel like they know everything. They feel like they smarter than you, all this, but then they have to come home. They have to come home sometime. Um, they and that short amount of time that they're gone, they haven't probably acquired a home. They may or may not have gotten an apartment or something like that, but they haven't learned, how to fully contribute, into running the dynamics of a house. And um they do it blindly because I don't think that a lot of them they don't want to do it. A lot of the parents, they have enabled and they kind of coddled to a certain extent or hadn't taught them to do any of these things. So it's like a certain level of disinterest. So they're not interested in it at all, and they're like blind. Like they live and they see how hard you work and they see what it takes to maintain the home, but they don't want any any parts of it. They just kind of want to do what they want to do. So I just wanted to talk today um about, just a few things that may help, ease that with these kids, and so that these parents don't, lose their mind. Um and what kind of led me to this topic, and just keep in mind that I'm talking about, in reference, I'm not telling people how to raise their kids or yada yada yada. I'm basically just talking about so far as, helping out, with chores and structure, you know inside and outside of the home, and the dynamics that are surrounding that. Like I said, I'm not here judging, and I ain't here, telling anybody how to raise their kids. They're your kids, and ultimately, whatever happens, those are your kids. You got to deal with whatever consequences or whatever you taught them or didn't teach them. You got to deal with that. So I am not here to judge. I am just here to help now. So the first thing is I just took notice of the amount of friends and family members with adult children who talk and complain about this topic like relentlessly. Like these kids, they don't let up. Um, they they don't let up. Like if they're just accustomed to moving a certain kind of way, they're just gonna move their way. And if you don't hold them accountable, it's gonna just gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse for you, and ultimately, really, it's really gonna be bad for them. Um, so like I said, I started to also pay attention to the dynamics in my clients' houses as well. Um, it's like every friend or relative that has an adult child at home, they are catching the blues. Their unwillingness to help out within the home causes such a disturbance. Like I've talked to people and it'd be like real arguments and disagreements going on. And these young adults, they feel justified in not helping inside the home. My thing is, again, like if you're going to be here, you have to contribute. You're not a baby anymore. And that's not the responsibility of the parents to be cleaning up behind y'all and just allowing you to be living here. And most of the time, it's like rent free, not helping out with any bills. And then on top of that, you're bringing in that bad energy because you're keeping the house, it's unkept and you're not contributing. Um, so like I said, they still expect you to pick up and clean up after them like you once did, when they were small. And honestly, like that was, that's part of the problem too, because if you didn't hold them accountable when they were younger, and if you didn't groom them or train them to do that, we have to accept accountability first. You just can't expect them um to just do stuff. So like, and there's so many examples, it's just crazy. And my thing is I don't judge, I just try to pay attention so that I can do better with my own. I have 4 boys, and some of the things that I hear and I witness, it's like I do not want to go through that. So I know someone, and actually we're close, but like she has a daughter, she's a young adult now, mind you, like she's in college. She was working, her little job or whatever. Um, and my friend, like, she had her do, as she was growing up, she had her do chores and things of that nature. But it's like when they get older, and what the older people say, when they start smelling themselves, they think they know everything. You can't tell them anything. That's when the problem kind of enhances. Um, her thing was she just wanted to live her life. She didn't have time to clean. It was always like an excuse. Um, it was just always something. I said, what about the kids that feel like it's our job to take care of everything because they didn't ask to be in this world? And that's part of it too. So like my friend, like her daughter said the same thing. It was like, well, I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be here. And that's like the classic line for whatever reason with kids. I didn't ask to be here. So it's like it's the parents' responsibility to just endure it. First of all, I would never tell my mom that, even if I thought it. Like growing up, I ain't asked to be here. Like I'm sure I thought it a time of 5 or 10, but I would never tell her that. Like it's the disrespect first of all, and it's like, yeah, I know I didn't ask to be here, but I'm still glad that I'm here. So that doesn't mean that I don't have to contribute to anything. But yeah, it was all that. Like, and, I didn't ask to be here. You're my mom. So it's like you're supposed to do certain things. I'm busy. I want to go hang out with my friends. And it's like what with her chest, like she meant that. So it was just like, and that's that. Now my friend, she don't play. Like she like me. Like she don't play. She you know, she gave her ultimatum, like, listen, I go to work every day. You have to contribute. You're not paying any bills. You're not helping out in any other way. And now she ain't gonna have nobody come in her home and clean up and do any of that because it was just the two of them in the house. And she was like, either you're going to help me and do these chores. And it was nothing crazy. Like it was nothing crazy at all. Like just simple stuff like clean up behind yourself, wash the dishes before you go to bed at night, some stuff like that. The laundry, fold up your stuff. Um, I mean, she just like almost refused. So her deal was, if you're not gonna help and do what I asked you to do, you're gonna have to go. And that's what happened. Like she made good on what she said. Like she wasn't gonna play with her, and she didn't. Um, so it's like, don't say what you mean what you say, and don't enable them because it's gonna haunt you later. So if you coddled them, if you were too, such that you didn't rear them that way, and then you just expected them to be a certain way when they get older, like it doesn't work that way. So don't enable them now. Don't enable them when they're younger, so that they don't feel that way when they get older. Um, I had another friend, like, had about 2 or 3 grown children living in the house. One of them had a baby, and just fussing and arguing all the time, like because and I don't think anybody works. So the parent would go to work all day long. The grown adult kids are young adult, grown adult, whatever. Kids are at home all day. They're washing dishes. They're cooking. They're not washing dishes. They're in the kitchen cooking, not washing dishes. You're using everything. You're being non-productive. One of them had a baby, so you're dealing with that all day. The parent comes home, nothing's been done, the house a mess. It's like you're already tired from the day, and then the kids were like expecting the parent to come home, bring food, go to the grocery store, cook the food, and like they're like grown, no contribution at all. Um, and like it'll get so bad, like some of these people will get depressed. People will be getting depressed. Like the few people that I've talked to, like it causes like it mentally affects the parent. They're not helping, they're not listening. It's like, what do you do? Like, you're my child. I'm not trying to just put you out here um so the world can eat you up and life can eat you up. I'm trying to show you, but they don't even want to listen to advice. They just want to do it. And I mean, and I know at some point when we were younger, we wanted to do what we wanted to do. And but to an extent we did listen. These kids don't even listen. They just gonna do what they're gonna do. Screw the consequences. Mom or dad or mom and dad are gonna fix it, and then that's just the end of that. So as parents, like we gotta stand united, and we gotta get these kids back on track because this is just not gonna be good for anybody. Then I deal with like when I go to my clients, and like I said, it ain't none of my business. I'm in there to do a job, but I've seen it all. The kids be laid up in the room. It be all musty and stinking, and they in there eating dirty socks, trash everywhere. Just be closed up in there all day, ain't helping nothing. Some of them have boyfriends and girlfriends. They be all locked up and closed up in there too. And again, like the poor parent, they worked all day. Um, you and then like for the client, it's like you worked all day, your house is a mess, and make you feel some type of way, and then you're paying your money to have someone come in to clean up behind not only your spouse, if you have any other younger kids, and this these older children that aren't doing nothing, and then they're setting a bad example. If you have younger children at home, they're setting a bad example for those kids. um it's a mess. And like I said, I am surely not judging. I promise you, I am not judging y'all, because in my 20s, I think I went home twice. Ask my mama. I went home twice. Shoot, you get out there in life and be like, oh, it ain't going the way I thought it was going to go. And I had to bring my booty home. I had to come regroup, you know. Um, how do you prevent it from causing a divide? Yep, I got the answer to that too. It's coming. Yeah, because it is a divide. We want to shake shit out these kids. But like I said, I went home too, and I made sure to make myself indispensable because she isn't required to take care of me at this point. Like, she ain't required to take care of me at this point. Like, I'm grown. Like, she doing me a favor. So I made sure to stay out the way, make myself indispensable. And when I say make myself indispensable, you see some dishes need to be washed, wash them. You see some clothes need to be folded up, fold them up. The floor need to be swept, just sweep it. Just do your shit and get out the way. Like, they be so appreciative because like I get it now. Like, you be tired, and just even some of the little things that they can do, it will take so much weight. It'll take so much weight off you. But these kids are ungrateful. I love them and all, but I don't know. It's just a different time. It's just a different world. And I ain't ready for it. I ain't used to it. I ain't even trying to get used to it. I be on my kids' head because I'm like, if you ever think it's going to go down the way you think it's going to go down, you are sadly mistaken, because I am not going to play. And they know I'm not going to play. So they try not to, my kids be like, I don't understand why they would do that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I understand too. They didn't have a me in the house, and some of these other people that I know that don't play. Um, And then it's like, and if something ever happened in the future again, and you got to come back, like I said, I came back twice. Like I fell on hard times twice. I had to come back twice. And so she wasn't reluctant for me to come back because she knew that I would also be of some help when I came, and I wouldn't be um and that, yep, Shell Brown, yep, they entitled. They are entitled as hell. I was just talking to Keisha a minute ago, and I'm just like, we misunderstood the assignment. I don't know what we did wrong. We zigged when we should have zagged. Um, because my intentions, the intention, and sometimes it just don't fall that way. Um, but at the same time, now I guess I'm being like devil's advocate. Um, do you think if a young adult still live with a contract agreement should be involved? Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna get to that too. Like y'all gotta come to a space to where everybody. I'm gonna get to that too. Um, but so far as the kids being grown and coming back, also it has to be a level of accountability on the parents' behalf too. Because the reality is, if you didn't teach them shit, you can't expect them to do shit. Like, why would you? That's crazy. Like you can't expect them to just wake up one day in their 20s and they just, oh, you know what? I'm gonna help. You know what? I'm finna clean shit out this house with my mama. Like, no, because most of the time people don't even like doing it. Like I'm just one of those rare people. I like cleaning. It's just, and there are people out there that like doing stuff. And I've always been that way. So it wasn't that hard for me. But like some of these kids, they were never reared, they were never taught. So if you didn't teach them nothing, how do you expect for them to just, you know what I'm saying? You can't just expect them to know. Um, it's gonna be challenging getting them to do something that they aren't accustomed to. Um, and if they haven't been taught, and if they have a disinterest and don't have the mindset for it, they're just not gonna do it, you know. But it can get better. It can take time. So first of all, they're not little kids anymore. So you can't rear them like you would if they were still young, because they're not young anymore. They have been indoctrinated with all these views and opinions and social media and all this other stuff. So like, just like as a parent, you strong in your constitution, they be strong in their constitution too. And it be making you want to knock their teeth down their throat. Like, honestly, because it really don't be making sense. Um, but it's just gonna take time, and it's gonna be like three things that are gonna be like the foundation of getting better results when dealing with these kids. And the first thing is patience. Um, it won't be easy. Your patience are gonna be tested. Their patience is gonna be tested. It's gonna be um some hard conversations and some disagreements from time to time. And you're going to have to give it some time to work. Um, Start off with like tasks that resonate and make sense, because a lot of stuff, they don't find value in it, or if it doesn't make sense in their little whatever they have going on in their minds, it's just not going to click. So like the first thing is like you got to start them off like babies, like so far as like helping out in the house and chores and stuff like that. Um, like you may have to give them something as simple as just cleaning up behind themselves. You can't expect them to go and do a standout job in the kitchen, bathroom, or any other area in the house when they simply don't even know how to pick up their own underwear off the floor. Like, I know people, like, you will eat something, they'll drop the wrapper and they don't even think, like, pick the shit up. Like, it's beyond me. Take your shoes off, kick them anywhere. Take your underwear off and just leave them and drop them anywhere. I, oh, and you would think that it was just common sense. So, like I say, everybody has a different reason for why they do stuff. Like some kids, they weren't made to do nothing, so that's why they act like that. Some people don't care. Some people think, I guess, since they done got older, they don't have to do that stuff anymore. It'd be a lot of things going on in their mind. And my thing, I ain't even trying to figure out. They need to go to therapy. But while you up in this house, you're gonna help, and that's just the end of that. So I'm gonna be patient with you. You got to be, you got to be patient with yourself because it's not going to be easy every day. It's really going to be a hard task trying to get this grown adults who think they know everything to comply with these rules, and this accountability. Um, so speaking of accountability, that's the next thing. You have to hold them accountable. So you have to be patient with them. And then after you have kind of sat down and y'all had a discussion or had an agreement, um, just like they were asked about a contract or an agreement, once you come to that agreement, you have to hold them accountable for whatever the rules or the agreement was. And I mean, you have to stand firm in whatever that it is that you got going on. You got to say what you mean and you got to mean what you say, period. Period. Accountability plays a big part, yes. My 15-year-old has it. She writes that it helps us both get it. Takes it easy out. An ongoing journal. Yep. Accountability. Let them be honest. People feel how they feel. Let them be honest about how they feel. Yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be patient with you, but I am gonna hold you accountable for some things. And really, the third part that's very, very, very important is execution. You have to execute the consequences from the lack of accountability. Whatever you say is going to happen as a result of not doing what was supposed to be done, you got to do that shit. And that is the part that most parents struggle with because it's like, you grown. I ain't trying to be smelling your feet up in here like that. Your musty self. I ain't trying to help out, not doing anything. Like, I'm not dealing with it. And like, you got to be firm. So that's the part that most parents, because they'll say, well, if you don't do this, like my friend, she ain't the one. I don't know why her daughter, like I'm still trying, I'm baffled because like, we all know that she just certain way. And I'm the same way too. I mean what I say and I say what I'm going to mean and I don't waver from that. So if you don't do these things, this is what I require of you, you're gonna have to go. Because first of all, like honestly, like some of these parents are losing their minds dealing with these kids at home. Like it is causing like extreme stress and anxiety. Like they go talk to their therapist about this type of stuff with these grown kids and their lack of contribution. Um, so if you say I'm cutting off the internet, I'm not providing you with this, I'm not doing this, or you're gonna have to get out, like you need to be okay with executing whatever it is that you said that you were gonna do. You have to make a believer out of them. And it was the same thing for us. It's like people had to make a believer out of me and a believer out of you too. And once you do it, you got it. And it's like also, if you can't physically, well, first of all, regardless of this second part I'm about to say, like you really need to physically help out because home management is an everyday ongoing thing. It never ends. Now, I ain't saying you got to be up in here and the house got to be squeaky clean, picture perfect. My house isn't. I got 4 kids at the house. What the hell? Like, you're crazy if you think you're gonna walk in there and it's everything gonna have. Now everything has a place and where it's supposed to be and where it is, but like sometimes the floor might get a little dirty, might be a little dusty every now and then. It's not a big deal. The kitchen may be like, I'll be big on that kitchen, but I understand if it's a few days, you don't wig out over stuff like that. But when you're just blatantly lazy and don't want to do it and you feel like your parents aren't going to execute, they will run all over you if you let them. And it's like, and if you're not going to physically help me, then you need to be making some money. Give me that money. Give me that money so I can pay for somebody. So you can help me pay for somebody to come in here and help clean up and help us out up in here. You're going to have to help in some capacity and in some way. So, like I said, patience, accountability, and execution. And at the end of the day, I always tell like my kids, I am helping the future you and me out. I'm helping us both. I'm teaching you how to be responsible and accountable. I don't want you out here in this world embarrassing yourself. I don't want you embarrassing me. Then it's like if you don't teach your kids this, like we're gonna get older. Like my mom, she's older now. She ain't old, but she's older. but because I possess certain skills and I have a mindset and a willingness to help. Now, when I do go visit my mom, most of the time I'm gonna go help do something that I know that she's probably gonna have has a hard time doing all this stooping and bending and reaching and that like ceiling fans. I don't want her standing up in no chair or on no ladder. Doing that stuff. She's getting too old for that. But I have a willingness and I have a heart, and you have to learn that there is nothing wrong, but I'm helping the future you and me. And when you instill these things in your kids, just think when they have kids, they have something to instill. But if nothing else, it's like if you don't teach, they're gonna get it back regardless. Because if they don't teach their kids anything, they're gonna come back with a vengeance. Like times are already hard now, and they're gonna come back with that same unwillingness, that same entitlement, that same I know everything type attitude. And it's just really detrimental, just societal, because not only will you not help and you can't help and you don't help yourself, first of all, then you're not even helping the people that are in close proximity to you. So how can you go out and live out a purpose in the world and help other people? Like I have my business and like they pay me and yay, that's what I'm here for. But I'm thinking mentally, I'm like, that's sad that there's nobody around in your space that is willing to come in and help you. And I mean, these people be like disabled, they're old, it'd be like other factors, and some people just can't. And people can see that you just can't do something, and they still won't have the willingness or the heart, to go out and help. So I'm just saying, like, if you haven't raised your kids and groomed them from the time that they were younger up until this point where they can help, like we have to start at some point. Like you can't just give up on them because the world is gonna eat you up. Shit, it almost ate me up, and I'd be responsible and be trying to do the right things, and I'd be helping and all the things I'm supposed to do, and it still will get a hold of you, and it'll get a hold of that ass. And I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that for your kids, and then it's just a breakdown in communication, and it'll mess up a relationship. It'll mess up the relationship between all these people that I've been talking about. They have a very staticky type relationship with their children because of this same type of, you think something as simple as just helping out and being accountable in the home. You wouldn't think that it would cause such an uproar. It causes a major, major butting of the heads and an uproar. So, you can't go back and you can't change things that has already happened. It's happened. If you didn't teach them that, it doesn't mean that you were like a bad parent. But sometimes, when you're younger and you don't know better, you can't do better. But when you know better, it is, your responsibility, our responsibility to share that, with our children. And it's not just for them, it's for us as well. So just expect whatever you put into that situation, expect to get those results out. Expect those results on the outward level. So if you ain't putting in shit, don't expect shit. And if you're putting in some hard work, it's going to take some time, and it's going to take some patience, and it's going to take some accountability, and it's going to take some execution, but it will get better. My kid, he's older now, so I don't know what's going to happen. And if they leave and go out and they have to come home, I'm going to welcome them with open arms, but there will be several conversations. There will be rules. There will be expectations, not even expectations. There will be requirements. There will be accountability, and I will execute everything that I tell them that I'm going to do. I'm going to do that shit. And you just have to be firm on your word. So, and everybody is dealing with this. Like people go in their houses, they close the door, and they be dealing with all kind of stuff. They come out the next morning smiling like everything is good, and they're like crumbling on the inside. So it's just like another topic that I wanted to cover, that I've just been observing and paying attention to. And I just think that it was just something that needed to be talked about on this Thursday. And that is my time, y'all. y'all for being here. Those 30 minutes go so fast. And again, if you got some lazy kids at home and you ain't trying to teach them nothing, you just want your house clean, you ain't worried about it, call me. The number is 918-505-8080. My email is info@helpnow918.com. My email is www.helpnow918.com. Call me, text me, email me, send me a smoke signal. I'm just here to share. I'm here to help. So it was a good show. Thank y'all so much for your time, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.